Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Sir Worldwide, and I have a special person here. I'd like you to see what she got to say because it's really great what she got to talk about. Nicca.
What's up, you guys?
So,
brief interruption. My name is Nicca, and I'm from South Africa.
yeah, now I've been to Africa. A lot of countries, right? But I haven't been to Johannesburg or Cape Town, and my plan is to go to Cape Town and maybe Johannesburg. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your country, what you really like.
What I really like? Oh, that's such a loaded question. South Africa is very diverse. I think the biggest thing about South Africa when they think about South Africa is firstly the beauty and then the good weather. Always good weather, always summer. Not too humid, but just the perfect weather. It's also beautiful and diverse in different ways. The plant growth is very different. You have the mountains, but you also have the oceans. You have the desert, you have Namibia, but you also have safaris and the big five. So South Africa in general is just such a diverse country with so much culture and tradition to it. So many different groups of people, languages, people with different backgrounds. It's honestly a truly diverse country. It's amazing.
So, Nicca, most people outside the United States speak only one language.
Yes, true.
How many do you speak?
I speak two.
Okay.
Not three, not four, two, which is still, I guess, more than the average American. So my first language is Afrikaans. So it's a mixture between Dutch and German. And then my second language is English. A lot of South Africans speak a lot more than me. Usually, Black people in South Africa, they speak a lot of languages. They usually speak some Afrikaans, but then English, and then there's over 100 different Black languages, which are all very difficult. I try to learn them. Beautiful languages, but for me, just two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have traveled to Asia a lot, and I have taken a lot of video and pictures of the monitor lizard and the elephants. I know that the African elephant is larger than the Asian elephant, but if I was to go, say, Cape Town,
Yeah.
I know that's not your hometown, but if I was to go to Cape Town, what kind of animals would I run into? I mean, not out in the wild, but I know I got to get a guide.
Like what do we have in the safaris?
Yes.
Regarding elephants or regarding animals in general?
In general, but specifically elephants and rhinoceros, those kind of guys.
So I think another big thing about when you go to South Africa is the diversity of animals. So a big thing is when you go on safaris, whether it's a big safari in South Africa would be the Kruger National Park, and there you would see the big five, which would be elephant, lion, rhino. I don't remember all of the big five, but the big five. Elephants are actually protected in South Africa right now, the elephants and the rhinos, because especially the rhinos, because of all the poaching happening for their horns. So when you would go to the Kruger National Park, you would either see the rhinos without their horns completely, because they are proactive and they cut off the rhino's horns so that poachers can't come in and cut them off, or you would see the rhino's horns, they dye them with pink dye. So you have all these rhinos in the wild, but they have pink horns, because if they dye the horns pink, they're useless to the poachers. The elephants, on the other hand, they're bigger animals. They're a bit harder to poach, I think, and I guess the poachers don't want their horns as much. But the elephants are beautiful. There's a lot of them. In some places in Namibia, actually, which is just outside of South Africa, there are some elephants that are still roaming wild in the desert and parts of the deserts, which is incredible. Yeah, wow. It's a good time.
So, you born in Johannesburg, or?
I was born in Pretoria, which was 30 minutes away from Johannesburg.
Right. Okay. Yeah. What kind of experience have you had with elephants?
With elephants?
Have you ridden on them?
On an elephant? No, not an elephant. That's on the bucket list, but no. I've had experiences where, so in the Kruger National Park, when you go on a safari, a tour guide can physically take you. So usually you sit in a vehicle and they take you through and you see the big five and you see all the elephants. But there's also a service where it's a bit more dangerous, but an actual tour guide walks with you. He walks in front of this big gun and he takes you out in the wild. You're walking between in the bushveld. You're walking to go see lions, where you're as far as me, I am from you. You're walking to go see lions, rhinos. So I've had close interactions with elephants. I've touched elephants, but I've never ridden on one. That's on the bucket list.
Let me give you an experience I had in Southeast Asia. I was riding on an elephant in a chair with my friend.
Oh, wow.
So the guy who controls the elephant, owns the elephant, he's called a mahout.
Okay.
So he looked back at me and said, "You want to ride the elephant?" I said, "Yeah, I like it." We had a miscommunication there. He wanted me to get down where he was. So he got off the elephant's head. And then I got on the elephant's head. Oh my God. I could,
Was that
every
an
step
experience?
this elephant took, I could feel the power of this animal. And I'll never forget it. That's why I asked you, you know,
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The closest I've been to an elephant was a camel. Not close enough, but
Okay.
almost.
Another question for you. What do you miss most from your country?
Oh, that's hard. What I miss most from South Africa, I think the people.
The people.
People.
That makes a lot
I
of
miss
sense.
the people. I miss the culture. Never mind that I obviously miss my own language. Talking in your own language is just its own thing.
Right.
But I miss the people. It's there's like a cultural difference, obviously, between South Africans and every culture has its own thing. And I guess because I lived in South Africa majority of my life, I definitely miss. There was a big culture shock and a big culture change moving to Canada and then coming to the U.S. And the people are great, but it's just different and it's not home, you know? So
Right.
I miss the people, yeah.
Okay. Food-wise, the food in South Africa, nothing like the food here.
Nothing like the food here. The food in South Africa is definitely, again, more diverse,
Yes.
a lot more choices, but a lot more spicy, not necessarily in spicy as in hot, but just South Africans love to spice their food.
Yeah.
Different types of food. The meat in South Africa is incredible. So instead of saying barbecue, South African they call it braais. So when you get together with a group of people, whether it's family, friends, you say, let's get together for a braai. It's a very iconic South African tradition where you go to get together on a Sunday, you have a braai, you watch the rugby, you have some good beer. So the braais are also a big tradition that I miss regarding food, where you cook meat, steak, really good.
I want to thank you for speaking to the world here.
You're absolutely welcome.
Hope to see you again on this channel.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.